Shalom Israel, and welcome to another edition of Yasharah's 20-minute breakdown, where I attempt to break down the scriptures within 20 minutes. But first and foremost, as always, you know how we do. We give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakah, Kadash, and the Yakims and the elders in the highways and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All praises. And the elder women teaching the younger women. All praises to you too. And the camps and the solo brothers going out there making videos, edifying the body, pushing the truth according to scriptures. All praises. Now, lesson I want to do today actually are on this topic will start off really with these people that call themselves the church of Jesus Christ, or of Latter-day Saints, i.e. aka Mormons. Now, I've been seeing a lot of these so-called Mormon, and they call themselves elders. I don't know why they call themselves elders for, because they couldn't spell Bible even if you gave them a dictionary. But nevertheless, the Mormons are always out in force, and they're always in 2s or 3s, and they wear this little black badge that says on it elder, and then it says the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's what they call themselves, of Latter-day Saints. And this is the book they use, which is called the Book of Mormons. And then at the bottom there it says another testament of Jesus Christ. Now this is the book they use, and they have a picture. Let's open it up. Where is it? Slakia, hold on. I'm just going to find it. They have a picture that they are. Here it is. They have a picture claiming this person. I don't know if you can see it. I'm just trying to look to see if I can. Let's bring it back a bit. So maybe, yeah, there we go. Right. They got a picture of this person claiming this is Jesus Christ, according to them. If you look at the bottom, you can see, I hope you can see that very well. I hope my camera's clear enough. But yeah, so this is who they say Jesus Christ is and what he looks like. And this is the book they try to teach you out of. And then they try to say this book lines up with the Bible. Because I've had a few, when I say run-ins, I've had a few conversations with them, and they always seem to target our people. I've seen them walk past so-called white people and always gravitate to our people of, my complexion or my, should we say, let's say my race. Let's use that term. Yeah? And they always seem to target my people. I have no idea why, but that's what they do. And they try to get you away from the Bible and try to teach you and learn so you can learn out of their book. And they trying to say this lines up with the Bible, but it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. And here's the problem as well. Look at that. Another testament of Jesus Christ. And they try to say that Christ went to Europe and he, taught these guy, and there's a guy called Nephi, a prophet Nephi, and whatever the case may be. One bag of rubbish anyway, but nevertheless, yeah. Now, I'm going to start this lesson off with actually 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 4, because, Paul warns us about this, and so does, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, we are warned about another gospel. Preachers going out who actually, are not sent by the Most High, sent by, let's say, Satan and deceivers, yeah? And this is where I'm going to start my lesson, and I'm going to go through some scriptures, and I'm going to show you as well, like where we've been warned by the Messiah himself that these things will come upon us, and these things will happen. So we have to be wary, and this is why you cannot negate the Bible, because in the book of Revelation, there's a description of the Messiah. It's not described how the picture I just showed you in the Book of Mormon. And also in the book of Daniel, Daniel chapter 10, and verse 6. And what I like about Daniel chapter 10 verse 6, because it actually uses the word, when it describes his skin complexion, it says like in color. So it's letting you know that the Messiah, the one you call Christ, actually had a skin color. Because a lot of people try to say, well, no one saw him, or no one really knew what he looked like. So if that's the case, who did they crucify? Who did they stare upon on the cross? And even though, like when he was in the synagogues preaching, when you go into the book of Luke, who was he preaching to? He was in the synagogue and he read the book of Isaiah. Who was he reading that to? And then again in Acts, I think it's early Acts, with the whole is either Acts or Matthew, I'll have, but nevertheless, the whole city came out to hear him. So what did they do? Had their eyes closed while he spoke? So of course he was seen of many, and they left the description. And that's what I like about the book of Revelation. Tells you that in the book of Revelation chapter 1, tells you how he's, feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. We know brass is brown. And if you burn that brown, it gets even darker. And what I like about the book of Daniel now, Daniel actually says, like in color, he said arms and feet. So his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. Now, if you know about how they used to polish brass back in them days, they used a thing called patina. And, to polish brass so it doesn't catch a canker when it's out in all weathers. And the good thing about, I won't say good thing, I better say the thing about patina back in them days, it only came in two colors, a very dark brown or green. So see how it matches up with the Revelation and Daniel? Because in Revelation, the book of Revelation, he says, skin like fine brass, as if it burnt in a furnace, showing you that he was a very dark-skinned man. And then Daniel backs up by saying, like arms and feet like in color to polish brass. And that's what you used to use back then to polish brass, was a thing called patina. And it was either dark brown or green. And we know his skin would have never been green. So there's only one left. Process of elimination, very dark brown, and that lines up with Revelation. But anyway, nevertheless, right, I'm going to start this lesson. I'm going to start with 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4, because the Book of Mormon say another testament of Jesus Christ. Now, let's see what 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 4 says. So first and foremost, I'm going to start my timer in 3, 2, 1. Boom, we're away. Let's go straight there. The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 4. And it reads, "For if he that cometh preaching another Jesus, whom we have not preached." Now you see, this is another Jesus who the prophets didn't preach. Yeah, he said, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit. Well, what comes with this, Mormons, is another spirit, because you don't have to keep no laws, just like the Christian church, like the Pentecost, Baptist, Seventh-day Adventists, and all these other spin-offs from the Roman Catholic Church. You don't keep no laws, you're just supposed to live by faith according to them. So listen to this. It says, "Or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel." What's the other gospel they teach, even in the Book of Mormon? That every believer can be saved. Once you're a believer, doesn't matter of your ethnicity. Once you're a believer, you can be saved. That's not what the Bible teach. That's another gospel, because the Messiah said out his own mouth in Matthew chapter 15, verse 24, "I'm not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." So he's showing you clearly he was only sent to the Israelites. But yet, the Book of Mormon and Christianity, who's hijacked the Bible and misusing the Bible teaches another gospel. So to say we all can get it, and it's not for everybody, it's only for the Israelites. Yeah? It says another gospel, which ye have not accepted. Ye might well bear with him. And a lot of you do bear with him, yeah? A lot of you do, you know? So the Mormons is one that pervert the word of the Most High and his teachings and all that pertain to the Israelites. They open it out to everybody, yeah? And they actually say in their book, black, white, you know, all welcome. That's what they say. So they actually go on a point of color. Yeah. Now, watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Galatians, chapter 1 and verse 6 into 7. Listen to this. Galatians, chapter 1 and verse 6. And it reads, I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of the Mashiach unto another gospel. And you see, and that's a problem because Christianity, Mormons, teach another gospel. And a lot of our people gravitate to this other gospel with this all-inclusive. We don't like nothing for ourselves. We want to include everybody that's done us harm and meant harm for us. We still want to include them. Yeah? Now let me read verse 7. Galatians chapter 1, verse 7. Which is not another, here we go, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of the Mashiach. Now, with Christianity and these other religions, not the Mormons, because Mormons have their own book. With Christianity now, when it says, but it says in verse 7, which is not another, but there are some that trouble you, and would pervert the gospel of the Mashiach, because they use the Bible and then they pervert what the Bible actually says and try to give it a different spin and make you understand it how they want you to understand it. And that goes way back to slavery, because even when the Mormons book was written, like, you know, the year in 18 something, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll put it on the screen anyway. Mormons, the Baptists, the Pentecostal, and all that, all those religions, even Christianity itself, what condition were we in at that time? We were slaves. So we had to adhere to whatever they pushed. And if they told us, they read it and said, this is what it meant, we had to understand it how they told us. But now we can read for ourselves, which they hate that. Yeah? Now, watch this, yeah? I'm going to jump to the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 15. Watch this. And it says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are raving wolves. And Christianity is one of those those wolves in sheep's clothing that we got to be aware of. And you know what we got to be aware of as well? Some of our own people. Yes, some of our own people are perverting this word. Some of our own people. Some brothers that are wearing fringes, long garments, looking all godly, saying Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai and all this. But just because you say Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai doesn't mean you're of the Most High. From the time you start going to a different gospel and a different understanding, and you call yourself going deep, Yahushua gave that commission in Matthew chapter 28. Go and teach all nations, baptizing them in, until we had to teach. So baptizing them in, in Yahushua and so forth. Just quickly want to paraphrase it, but meaning we had to go and make sure we teach people who they are. They're Israelites. They must return and repent, keep the commandments with the faith of Yahushua. That's what we are supposed to be teaching. Yeah? Not like digging so deep that we're now making up stuff to sound deeper than anybody else on the block. Now watch this. I'm going to jump back to 2 Corinthians 11, but I'm going to read verse 13 to 14. Watch this. 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 13, and it reads, For such are false prophets, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of the Mashiach. Yeah. So see, there's a lot of brothers that even like, that know they're Israel, can break down scriptures, but now they claim they're deeper. And now they're going off into different doctrine. Your doctrine must line up with the Bible. You don't make the Bible try to line up with your doctrine. Your doctrine has to line up with the Bible. If it doesn't, you're off. It's that simple. I'm sorry, you're way off. Now watch this, yeah? Verse 14 of 2 Corinthians chapter 11. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And that's the thing. It's so easy to be deceived by Satan. See, where you're looking, you won't find him. It's where you're not looking. That's where he will be. Yeah, that's where he would be. So you see, there might be brothers there and, getting great revelations, but it's not lining up with the scriptures. So don't be surprised if Satan haven't already infiltrated them. There's many brothers out there that's going off. You just go on the internet and have a look. You can see that their doctrine is not pure. It sounds great because some of them are great teachers, and they're like the Christian pastors. They sound so convincing, but once you know the doctrine and you read for yourself, you will see straight through some of them lies. You'll see straight through it. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 6. Listen to this, yeah? Matthew chapter 16 verse 6, and it reads, Then Yahushua said unto them, Take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Now, that's a major problem, because showing you that the Pharisees and the Sadducees were Israelites, and they were full of leaven. So don't mean just because they're your people and they're wearing the long garments with fringes. Not everybody wearing long garments and fringes and, can talk in the ancient Hebrew is actually of the Mashiach Yahushua. There's a lot of deceivers out there, yeah? Watch this, yeah? I'm going to stay in the book of Matthew 16. I'm going to jump down to verse 12. Listen to this, yeah? Because remember, he warned you about the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Excuse me. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 12, and it reads, Then understood they how that he bid them not beware of the leaven of bread. Because when they say leaven, you think in bread. So they realize he's not talking about leaven of bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees, you see? So that was the problem. And if it happened back then, who's to say it can't happen now? There's nothing new under the sun. So the leaven back then is still here now. And a lot of brothers have it and don't realize, because they got a large following as well. So, you always sometimes think, the majority, but sometimes it's those other ones that keeping the doctrine pure and simple, yeah? And not straying off the path. Because the path is narrow. It's easy for one foot to go left or right, and you can slip and slide. And when you slip and slide, you're going to break something. It's that simple. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Mark, chapter 12 and verse 38. Listen to this. Mark, chapter 12 and verse 38. And it reads, And he said unto them, in his doctrine, beware of the scribes, which love to go in long clothing and love salutation in the marketplace. And, and that's some of our brothers as well. They look the part and they like to be seen and heard, and they want to be always in the limelight. They love the limelight because why? It makes them look, shall we say, all knowing, like the all-knowing owl. Makes them look wise, but they don't realize that Yahweh has sent that spirit upon them. And they realize, they're going to, in that day, they're going to realize Yeah, they're going to realize. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 46 into 47. Listen to this. Matthew chapter 5 verse 46, and it reads, "For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if," verse 47, Saki, "and if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so?" And that's the thing with some of these brothers that's kind of out there, and they claim they're deeper than any other brother, and they're telling how, oh, brothers, oh, you're repeating the same old stuff. You're still on the milk, you know. We got the meat. Those brothers, they like to salute their brothers. They got no love for others. So, you know, what reward have you when you only can, like, deal with just the people that's in your remit who agree with everything you say? What reward have you? Yeah, if you only can salute those that are around you, your yes men. What reward have you if you only can salute your yes men? You have no reward. Yeah, now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of 1 John chapter 1 and verse 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1. Listen to this, yeah? 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1, and it reads, "Beloved, believe not every spirit." Now that's the point I really want to make. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. And you see that? How much more warning do we need? Many false prophets have gone out into the world. Many. Not just a few, many. Yeah? So you have to be careful who you're learning from and who you're listening to. Just because it sounds great doesn't mean it's true or it's right or it's the proper gospel because it sounds good and you can link things up and make it fit your narrative. Yeah? And you pull scriptures to make it seem to say what you want it to say. But then that means you're no better than Christianity because that's what they do. Yeah? So don't believe every spirit, because you got to remember, there's many spirits out there. I mean, like you got the true spirit, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. True spirit. But then you got worldly spirits, yeah? You got satanic spirits. You got lying spirits. You got dumb spirits, yeah? You got deceiving spirits. You got evil spirits. You got seducing spirits. You got contrite spirits, you know, spirits that like conflict and confrontation, you know, and contention, yeah? Yeah? So, like, you know, which one do you have? You know, I have to stop and sigh, you know, because, you know, one thing I can say, right, is one thing about these other spirits that are not of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Doesn't take long for it to reveal itself what kind of spirit it is. Only those with the actual eye will see what kind of spirit that is. So we have to be wary and we have to constantly watching, yeah? Because you got to remember, the Most High, as he says in Isaiah, I think it is, I'll put it on the screen anyway, where he's going to sift Israel, like the whole, you know, tribe of Israel. He's going to sift Israel from the nation, from the other nations where they were scattered. And then he's going to sift Israel from Israel. So them tares and all those, you know, false apostles and teachers, you know, are going to be sifted from the real wheat. Yeah, and they're going to fall to the floor, and the goodness is going to be left still in the palm of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai's hand. Yeah? Be warned. Do not believe or trust every spirit just because it says Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai and he's picked up the Bible and he's reading out the Bible. Obviously, brothers like who are keeping commandments is going to do a better job than Christianity. But don't mean they haven't been infiltrated by Satan. Because if they haven't, their doctrine wouldn't be against the scriptures. There you go. Now, let me jump to the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 3 into 6. Listen to this. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 3. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Now that's what you're supposed to be doing. Keeping that spirit in the unity of bond of peace. Making peace with all your brothers in all camps. Not just only your camp and then like you're, rubbishing others and other camps or whatever the case may be. Yeah? Watch this. Yeah? Let me read on. Verse 4. There is one body, one and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. Verse 5. One Yahushai, one faith, one baptism. Here we go. Now, and verse 6. One power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. Now you see that? So there's only one, there's one spirit, there's one gospel, there's one baptism, there's one of everything. One Yahushai, one Yahweh. Yeah? That's what the Bible's showing you clearly. So when you start going to another gospel, another doctrine, Bible doesn't teach that. Just showed you there's one. So when you say another, there isn't another. So you're going off. Now let me jump to the book of Matthew chapter 24 verses 24 to 27. Listen to this. Matthew chapter 20. See, how much warning do we need? Yahushai again warning us. Watch this. Matthew chapter 24 verse 24, and it reads, "For there shall arise false Christs," which I showed you, false Yahushai. Well, this is one of them, yeah? That the Christian church uses and the Book of Mormons use. That's a false. So you worshiping him, you're worshiping Satan. Yeah? Yeah? I mean, you read from the top. "For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders." Yeah, the way they talk and the way they deliver stuff sounds great. Great wonders, insomuch, if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. See, if it was possible, but the elect will see through your nonsense, yeah? And that goes to show that you can't be the elect, because if it would if it was possible, the elect would be deceived, but the elect isn't. But you who's pushing that doctrine, you're deceived. So shows you're not the elect. That's what you don't realize. You've just shot your own self in the foot. Yeah? Now let me read verse 25. "Behold, I have told you before." See, the Yahushua is warning you. "Behold, I've told you before." Verse 26. "Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chamber, believe it not." Verse 27. "For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Now, that's the point right there, showing you that if he says, he's with us, working with us, listen, when Yahushua comes, we will know. Yeah? So we will know. When Yahushua comes, we will know. We won't have to be told, he's there, he's there. We will know. Believe you me, the elect will know. So with that, this is Yasharallah. I'm timing out now. We out.